Hello students, today in this session we will start with the hemoglobinopathies. We have been seeing the hemolytic anemia classification. We have already seen membrane defect. Next we moved on to hemoglobin defect. Under hemoglobin defect we have seen thalassemia. Now the next division, that is the hemoglobinopathies. So what are hemoglobinopathies? Hemoglobinopathies, it is defined as clinical syndrome resulting from disorder of synthesis of hemoglobin, where the structure of one of the hemoglobin chain is abnormal due to changes in the amino acid sequence of the chain. There are two major disorders of hemoglobin synthesis: qualitative hemoglobinopathies and quantitative hemoglobinopathies. Qualitative hemoglobinopathies, it is caused by mutation that leads to the transcription of structurally abnormal hemoglobins such as hemoglobin S, hemoglobin C, hemoglobin E. Transcription means here there is it is one of the step of DNA based gene expression in which segments of DNA is copied into RNA by the enzyme RNA polymerase, that is transcription. So because of the transcription, abnormal hemoglobin is seen. Example: HbS, HbC, HbE. Quantitative hemoglobinopathies, it is caused by mutations that leads to the reduced synthesis of normal globin chains. Example: thalassemias. We have already seen about thalassemia. Abnormal hemoglobins. Abnormal hemoglobins are inherited as autosomal codeterminants. The subjects who inherit one normal and one abnormal genes are heterozygous, and those who have two identical abnormal genes are said to be homozygous. The homozygous state is usually referred to as a disease state, and the heterozygous state as a triad state. So we will see what is sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease is a group of inherited red cell disorder. Healthy red blood cells are round and they move through small blood vessels carrying oxygen to all the parts of the body. This is the usual mechanism. But in case of sickle cell disease, the red blood cells become hard and sticky and look like a C-shaped tool. That is the tool which we use in the use for farming. That tool is called as sickle. So it is named after. Sickle cells die early, which causes a constant shortage of red blood cells. Sickle cells can get stuck in small blood vessels and block the flow of blood and oxygen to organs in the body. These blockages causes repeated episodes of severe pain, organ damage, serious infections, and even lead to stroke. Pathology. It is caused by mutation in beta globin gene at the 6th position, that is glutamic acid is replaced by valine. This you have studied in biochemistry also. So sickle cell anemia is replacement of glutamic acid by amino acid valine in the 6th position. Okay. So red blood cells typically live 90 to 120 days. That is, normally they have a lifespan of 90 to 120 days. In case of sickle cell anemia, they survive only for about 10 to 20 days. Types of sickle cell disease. Sickle cell anemia, under them we have homozygous state. As I already said, homozygous means both the genes. Sickle cell triad, that is heterozygous. One is normal, another one is abnormal chain. If one parent has sickle cell anemia and other is normal, all the children will have sickle cell triad. If one parent has sickle cell anemia and other has sickle cell triad, then there is 50% chances of either in case of each. If you see the picture, you will understand it clearly. This is just for your knowledge. So if both the parents have sickle cell triad, that is AS, sickle cell triad is said as AS, you may get AA, that is a normal person. AS, sickle cell triad, may be seen in two kids, or SS also can be seen, that is sickle cell anemia. The third condition is sickle cell, that is due to beta thalassemia. So double heterozygote in which sickle cell gene is inherited from one parent and beta thalassemia gene from another parent. We have already seen about beta thalassemia. The fourth one is combination of HbS, that is with other abnormal hemoglobins. Already I have told the other abnormal hemoglobins like HbS-D. D means hemoglobin Punjab, they call it as HbS-C, HbS-O, that is Arab disease, HbS-E, that is usually found in the northeastern states. Symptoms. Normally there is no symptoms in the infants. It is able to block the sickling action of the RBC. So infants who have inherited the disease do not develop symptoms. That is, hemoglobin F reduces the risk of sickling. For this reason, clinical symptoms do not develop before the age of 6 months. That's why infants are asymptomatic. The symptoms only develop as the child grows. So these are the clinical features what you see. There is pain, there is visual blurring, jaundice will be seen, syncope. Syncope means temporary loss of consciousness caused by fall in the blood pressure. Next condition, dactylitis. Dactylitis, you can see in the picture, dactylitic feature. Dactylitis means severe inflammation of the finger and the toe joints with puffy nature of the finger. You can see in the picture. Next condition, neck stiffness and headache. Neurological symptoms, infection, leg ulcer, weakness, etc. Weakness and pallor. Pallor means, as already told, it is paleness. These are the seen. Coming on to the laboratory findings. A complete blood cell count usually reveals an increased reticulocyte count. That is, retics may increase ranging between 5 to 15%. So, elevated reticulocytosis will be seen. Total leukocyte count 12,000 to 20,000 per millimeter cube. That is, the upper limit itself starts from the upper limit of the normal range. Right? 4,000 to 11,000 is the normal WBC count, total WBC count. But in this case, the limit starts from the upper limit. That is 12,000, it starts ranging. Differential leukocyte count may be normal or predominance with neutrophils. That is, WBCs may be elevated with the shift to left. Shift to left means appearance of immature neutrophils will be seen. Mean corpuscular volume may be normal unless thalassaemic hemoglobin is present. Otherwise, it is usually normal. Hemoglobin may be mild to moderate. That is, it ranges between 5 to 9 gram per TL. Platelet count also elevated, sometimes normal, but it may be elevated also. Next, moving on to the P smear, peripheral blood smear. P smear, it is very diagnosis in case of sickle cell disease. It shows some of the features like target cells. You have already seen what is a target cell. The target cell is something like a cell with a dartboard appearance. Sickle cells, already have shown how the sickle cells appear. Ovalocytes, the cells may be oval in nature. There are cells which are still more oval in nature. In hereditary eleptocytosis, how I have shown the ovalocytes, same. Stippled cells, in this slide stippled cells are not there, but stippled cells are also called as punctate basophilia. It is the presence of numerous basophilic granules, that is purplish spots in the cytoplasm of the RBC. This is due to disturbed erythropoiesis. These granules may be seen. Next, Howell-Jolly bodies, or it is also called as HJ bodies. HJ bodies are basophilic nuclear remnants, that is clusters of DNA in the circulating RBCs will be seen. So this is P-smear finding. Bone marrow, you have erythroid hyperplasia seen with the hypercellular cells. Myelopoiesis is normal, megakaryopoiesis is normal, iron stores may be increased. Biochemistry, you have indirect bilirubin increased, LDH increases, serum haptoglobin will decrease, urobilinogen and stercobilinogen increases, DNA diagnosis can be done, that is further diagnosis can be. Diagnostic tests, these are very important, which we will be seeing in the later classes. These are special tests for sickle cell anemia. So diagnostic tests are sickling using whole blood, sickling using reducing agent, sickling hemoglobin S solubility test, hemoglobin electrophoresis, hemoglobin S detection test. These are the tests which we will be seeing in the later slides.